This is disputed special edition NCAA championship tonight. Michigan versus UConn. Tonight, we've got the biggest game in college basketball, the national championship. Michigan, UConn. Two teams, two different paths, one trophy. Gloria, this is where it gets serious. No debates, no hot takes. Just one question. Who is winning this game?
You're not putting that on me this early. Break it down, and then I'll give you my answer.
Fair enough. Let's get into it. Let's look at Michigan. They are one of the top 4 seeds in this tournament. Florida, Arizona, and Duke were the remaining 3 teams. They finished 36-3. They've scored over 90 points in every single tournament game. 90 points. That doesn't happen in March Madness.
That's insane. But does that mean they are that good, or they have just not been challenged?
That's a good question. They just beat Arizona, number 1 seed, by 30 points. 30 points.
So they basically controlled everything.
Everything. Tempo, scoring, execution. But it starts with their size. When you have size in basketball, you can pound your opponent in the paint. Paint game. Right. You look at Mara, Johnson, Lindenberg. They have size everywhere.
So if they control the paint, the game is over?
Honestly, if they control the paint, it's going to be very hard to stop them. But Lindenberg tweaked his ankle and knee in the Final Four. So
that changes everything to me.
MRI says it's fine, but is he really 100%? So his health definitely will play
a
big role in how the health things turn out. Let's look at UConn, though. UConn, number 2 seed. Number 2 seed. They finished 34-5. Each time they've gotten to this stage, if you look at maybe like Sweet 16, Elite 8, they've won 19 straight tournament games. Right. At this stage.
19 straight?
When UConn gets this far,
that's not normal. 19 straight. Wow.
They were the last back-to-back champions. They won 2023. They won 2024. Now they are back again.
So this is actually what they do then.
Exactly. Let's look at some of their players. They got Caravan, they got Mullins, they got Reed.
Reed. Remember, he's playing his former team.
Yeah, he is. So that brings up something very interesting. How will he feel playing against a former team? Do you think that will put some fuel in the fire in this game?
For sure. He's probably going to want to show, the Michigan team what they're missing. So for me, it's 1 big versus 3.
Well, that could be the storyline. But Michigan's size is a problem. Because you're talking about 1 versus 3. You're right. They have Reed, but these guys have other players that are very big. In my opinion, there are 3 things that could decide this game. Okay. Number 1, Lindenberg's health. You can't be playing the biggest game of your season and not have your best player, 100%. Lindenberg was the Big Ten Player of the Year. So I think it's gonna go. It's gonna be a draft lottery pick. In my opinion, it's gonna be a lottery pick in the NBA draft. In my opinion, Caravan's performance, also controlling the paint. they control the paint. That would make this game very, very interesting.
But one thing you have to realize is you cannot underestimate UConn. I remember watching UConn against Duke in the Elite Eight, and the game started and they were losing by 19.
Yeah.
And I was like, college game, when you're already down 19 points, obviously game over, everyone, pack and go. And then obviously the Boozer twins, they were really on fire that day. I got up from the game, I went inside, I was like, well, game over and everything.
Yeah, I stopped
And
watching.
then, and then
myself.
I came back and then I looked up. Just a few seconds to go in the game, they were only down 2 points. I was like, what happened here? And before I knew it, the ball was back with Duke, and UConn forced a Duke turnover. They got the ball, and within a blink of an eye, took a 3-point, went in, game over. It was the craziest, at least for me, the craziest moment so far in the tournament. I was like, I remember their coach running like a crazy man up and down the court. That was really so for them to still be in this race, to be in the final game of the tournament. They probably will have the big chip on their shoulder.
Yeah. That shot and many, many more that's happened over the years, and many, many more that will happen, is one of the reasons why I love college basketball.
Remember the same UConn, Kemba Walker, having one of the biggest shots in this March Madness tournament.
That's why I said March Madness to me is one of the best tournaments ever created. Honestly, whoever came up with this idea, kudos to that person. That is fantastic. One of the best games.
Yeah.
So that being said, this will be a very great tournament, as we said. Michigan versus UConn. Who am I going with? I may have to go with Michigan. But this is one of the hardest picks that I have to pick, to be honest. I'm not 100% confident. Right? You laid a very great point. That kind of solidifies UConn's dynasty. They have a great program. I kind of see it as a great program in UConn, great program in the last few years. We've done that in the last 4 or 5 years. But Michigan, so the mission.
Was it not the same coach that the Lakers were chasing?
It was the same person. He almost became a Lakers coach. So I think Michigan's size, this is the year for Michigan. We see what happens. They haven't won in a long time, obviously. But we'll see what happens. But again, if I look at the game, I kind of see Michigan win maybe 6 to 8 point game. But if things turn the other way round, it wouldn't surprise me.
Well, all in all, for me, I think it's been a very fascinating and incredible tournament so far. And I don't have a horse in the game, in the fight, but may the best team win.
Great tournament. Here's tonight. Michigan versus UConn. 1 game, 1 champion. Drop your picks in the comments. Subscribe for the reaction episode. We see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.